We're going to call the meeting to order. And it's Beautification Commission, and it is March 13th. So I think the first thing we have to do is approve the minutes. Is that?
But we don't have a...
Oh, that's right, we don't. Okay. So should we just say, like, table all that until Elizabeth gets here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Christy, do you want to add anything to what you were talking about, Sue?
I guess we need to get one more, well, you can all look at this plan, but I think she was very thoughtful about what plant material she wanted to use that would grow and get big and cover spaces that we want, and also wouldn't, would survive the winter well, completely low maintenance and whatever. And she helped me in front of my house, so I also, and she's done all of Penny Glassmeyer's. She did where Penny Glass on Settlers Trail. I don't know if you're familiar with that beautiful garden.
Yes.
That was Carol Guthrie's. She definitely has a talent for it. And the budget she gave to Christy, as I said, was about $7,000 something. She said this is very rough because each year that we've had such terrible growing seasons that the nurseries don't really give you a price until the spring is upon us.
Okay.
And so that was sort of rough from last year.
Yeah.
But indeed, I was very impressed with what she came up with. I know we need to probably have Oliver's also give us a more formal proposal so that we at least have two.
Yeah.
And you said her plan came in at what?
About 7,500, let's say. It might have been 775, but
are you going to ask? So Oliver will do the same thing. Will they'll put together?
Will give us a proposal.
Yeah.
A written proposal with plant material suggested. I know he was talking about heliobore and where the spirea is, and Carol said, "Well, heliobore is nice, but it needs shade, which is not there, and it also blooms for 2 weeks maybe,
and it's done."
Yeah. I mean, it's an okay.
It's a winter plant. It's
very early spring. Yeah. It's fine, but then it's gone, and she did not think that was probably a great idea. And
okay.
What's nice on this is that it's stuff that will grow, but won't grow so fast that we'll be pruning it every year.
And indeed, her whole
so that it will get out of control.
Her whole motivation was low maintenance.
Yeah, which I think that's what we need.
Yeah, low maintenance
and attractiveness.
Yeah, exactly. And just to.
I mean, when's the last time that anybody actually did a plan for the front of town hall?
Well, the thing, I mean, there must have been one originally, but certainly those bayberry you can see.
Yeah.
It probably was 20 years ago or more.
Because that area, where's that area that's where the spirea is? That was like
around the edge.
Yeah, that's sad.
And she also suggested there is a planter there that now has just that has our name on it actually. That she thought a Japanese ornamental tree, she had the name that she wanted to use would be to give a little height there. I don't know if you have a big pot that's there. It's kind of decorative. Actually, it looks like it's a little bit cracked on one side. But
is that the pot where we were putting the flowers?
In the I think so, yeah.
A really big one.
The big one,
not the cement ones. But
because when we hang the baskets,
we put some.
We put some of the flowers in pots around town, and that might have been what that was for.
Yeah.
And anyway, I thought the height there might be a good idea.
Yeah. And
she said they do fine in pots. The ornamental she had in mind, Japanese maple.
Okay.
So that feels like progress.
Yeah.
I know, and Ed said that he did thought he would have a little money to help us do some of that, so we'll have to sit down with him once I think we need to get Oliver's on board, and then go to decide who we want to work with, and
Will the other gentleman give us a rendering like this too?
presumably,
Okay.
I mean, they should be able to. You know,
Right.
This should be part of the presentation. This is what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think you'd have something like that by the next meeting? So it's,
For a month, I should think so.
yeah, I mean, because the idea is to get a vote on this so that we can start working on it,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before they get busy too.
And fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you should-
Never on the back burner.
Exactly, and I
Yeah.
said that to Carol. I said, is this something you're going to have time for? And she said, she thought if we got she said it shouldn't take that long to actually plant it. It's really finding the plant material that's the challenge. But,
When did they start doing that? Like, at what point can you?
well, probably, in the next month
Like
or so.
April, end of
Yeah,
April?
when, early on is what you need. You don't want to wait too
Be
long.
part of the townwide cleanup to pull this stuff out.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, that is that. And,
Okay.
I wonder, both Christy and I thought perhaps we should approach Oliver's. What's the fellow? Is it Matt? Who were you? You weren't there. It was Christy. We met with Christine. We'll have to get her contact information.
Christina's?
Because of the fellow she worked at Oliver. The man, she knew him from other jobs, and he came and gave us some rough ideas too.
Okay, so yeah, because I think it sounds like Christina's not going to be. I think she's going into surgery, so I'm not sure how available she's going to be.
She
So-
said she's missing next month's meeting too.
So she should give you the contact, I think,
Yeah.
for Oliver, so that
Yeah,
you can
we can
get that going and
Yeah.
then get the comparison so we can get moving on
Right.
it.
We'll have to get somebody else on the coffee for the cleanup then.
Well, okay, cleanup's a totally different story. Okay.
So I guess we're going out of order and
No,
the
but
agenda. Yeah.
that sounds good. Okay, so do you need anything else from us, or do you feel like this is
No.
phenomenal?
It is. It's wonderful.
It's nice to see.
Yeah.
It is.
It laid out.
Yeah, the ideas on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So yeah,
That makes
we'll see if we can't get a second one and a budget and go from there.
What was the budget that we were given?
We weren't. He just verbally. He didn't. Oh, you mean from the town?
Yeah.
I think we were supposedly 34,000 was in, which is what we've had gotten every year, but it's not voted on until May, I guess.
Okay. So the money to do this,
That's the money to do
everything. That's our entire budget.
Christy thought we needed to ask for more to
Okay.
do this because
Okay.
this is on beyond. That doesn't include all of the baskets.
Right. Right.
And I need some money for signs if we're going to expand the Adopt a Garden program.
Right.
Um,
Right. Okay. Okay.
But I'll wait to go do
We'll
Adopt
do
a
that.
Garden. Yeah, until we're
Yeah.
on the agenda. I don't know. There's other things next, right?
Okay. So we'll just hopefully by next time you'll have you'll hear from
Another-
Oliver.
yeah.
You'll have a meeting with Oliver,
Right.
and then we'll kind of hopefully take it to the next step. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Townwide cleanup. That we've run into some serious problems with.
Okay.
The problem with townwide cleanup. So the initial date was I think
April 20th.
April 21st. It was Earth Day, which is the Monday. The weekend before that is Easter, and that week is the public school spring break. So kids are going to be gone the weekend of Easter and also the following weekend. So those 2 weekends are out.
And then you get into the Boy Scout
And
tax
then
sale.
and then the next weekend is the weekend of May 3rd, which is the Boy Scout tax sale. So now we're running into that. I met with Leela at the Nature Center, and that was before we realized that it was the Boy Scout tax sale, and we were going to try and see if we could coordinate efforts to do something that first weekend of May. It's now looking like we are actually not going to have the manpower either because Elizabeth Hall is gone, Christina's going into surgery, and it's
What
just
about the week before Easter?
it's too soon. Like we can't. That's literally we couldn't get it together that quickly. And I'd actually put that to Leela, and that wasn't working for us either.
Right.
Is that the weekend too of the Easter egg hunt over at Hinley and?
A lot
It
of different events going on.
Yeah, and that's the other problem is that by the time we start getting into May,
Yep.
the Nature Center itself is also starting to run events, and then we're running into sports. I mean, the whole thing is kind of I'm not quite sure where we're going with this at this point, because the idea behind it is that we like to get the kids in town, which is the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, kids care from the different schools, the elementary schools, the PTAs, or them, they all get involved, and we're kind of running up against some problems with that. So I'm going to try and meet with Leela again just to see what we can do. How I left it with Christina is that she is still going to meet with the youth groups at the churches to see if they can do the beaches. So we'll try and get Wheat Beach and Pear Tree Beach cleaned by the youth groups. And Christina's taking that on. I'm also still going to reach out to Janice at the depot, just because she always gets the kids to do that. But beyond that, I don't think it's going to be as much of a unified effort this year as it was last year.
It might be more truncated just because of everything else going on.
Yeah. Christina was the one who did the senior men's, so I'm going to leave that with her if she still wants to try and get that going. But as far as like trying to get kids care, Boy Scout, Girl Scout, I think it's going to be tough, which is disappointing. But like I said, I'll meet with Leela again, but I'm not really sure it's not going to be what it was last year. Simply just because it's getting bumped out too far into May.
Hello.
Well, Easter is so late this year too.
Yeah,
it is.
that's
It is,
what's causing the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Hi. That darn calendar.
I know, right?
Well, it's all the moon,
That nerve.
the equinox, right?
That's right. So we were just talking about town cleanup and how it's just not going to come together this year the way it has in the past.
Right, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a combination of Easter and also just our manpower. We're not going to have that many people
Right.
because you're out of town
Yes.
and
that
Christina's
weekend
going
of the
into
4th.
surgery. Yeah, and it's just
Yeah, because if it was earlier like we normally do,
Right.
but why couldn't we do that because of Easter? Is what
Yeah.
you're saying? Oh yeah.
It's Easter and then it's public school spring break.
Oh right.
So 2 weekends are knocked out at the end of
Yeah,
April or middle of April, and then we're trying to bump it into May, and then that weekend is the Boy Scout tag
Yes.
sale.
Yeah.
So, and you're going, and Christina's in surgery. So, all of a sudden, the way I'm left is I'm gonna meet with Leela again at the Nature Center to see if we can kind of jerry rig something. And I'll keep you guys, and I'll email everybody and keep everybody posted.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where
Is
we're
there a
at.
chance of doing it in June instead of?
I don't know.
Because April and May are tough, but maybe if we did it in June, I mean, there's still garbage.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
And then before it gets really hot too,
And well, before summer kicks in, because
Yeah.
then it's kind
and
of
then the
bust.
kids are all scattered.
Yeah,
Right.
I would focus on early April though.
Yeah, there was. That's not coming to mind right now, but we did talk about it, and I can't remember why that wasn't coming together.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe later in May. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're right, we still need to
Later
try
in
and
May
do
would be
it,
fine too.
and it just wouldn't be connected, obviously, to Earth Day. It would be more
Earth Day.
just about being
Right.
a town cleanup.
Yeah, or maybe even the
Yeah.
weekend before Memorial Day. So when we hang our baskets, the town's clean.
Yeah.
So we can see our pretty work.
I know. I know.
All our efforts.
Okay, so that's where we're at with that, and I'll just keep you guys posted as I meet with her, and that's like I did before. I'll just email everybody and keep everybody
Okay,
in the loop.
thanks, Julia, for all of that.
We'll see
A
what
lot.
happens. Okay, farmers market. There's no Christina. And then, does anybody know what's going on with the bench? She said someone has to order a bench with Ed Gentile. Does anybody?
So that's the bench at the berm.
At the
you mean?
berm,
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
bench.
Second bench.
Yeah. So no. So I think that's got to be. Those are both Christina, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So that we're going to couch as well. Okay, best method for recruiting additional members. The reason she put that on is because I told her that I would probably be stepping down in November. Yeah,
Grief.
I know. So, and I don't know how we go about trying to,
Yeah.
unless, I know that they announced it at the DTC
Mhm.
and at the Republicans meeting, but
You
Yeah,
know,
we put it
I
in the paper before.
You can't leave until you replace yourself.
I can certainly have the garden club, bring
that's
it up.
right.
That would be nice. Thanks.
I can sort of think of several people who would be good, but we're about to have a flower show and everybody's really busy,
Yeah.
taxed, so it's maybe not the optimum time to.
I mean, even if it's like if it's brought up and people are available to start in the fall or something like that, because then we only have a few meetings and then it doesn't really, get busy until
Let me
now.
contact our
Okay.
president and have her at least make that request.
Okay. How about the tree conservancy? Or is there anybody else previous members?
Yeah, I'll, I know a couple of people on the Tree Conservancy. I can ask them.
I can do what I normally do and just post it on my Facebook page and see if anybody's interested.
Oh, that's good.
Or my friends who like to garden like I do. That's how I get a lot of things done that way.
That would be great.
I'll do that.
Wish we could do it through the library or something where it's like.
I can mention it there too.
Yeah.
Once again, if we start doing more publicity,
Yeah.
that is, because I've had 2 people contact me from, I think as a result, maybe of our picture in the paper, I don't know, but who just came out of the blue.
Yeah, I had that too. I saw you in the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think we need to do another photo op.
With a better
And,
picture.
I was going to get
I was
into
gonna laugh
I was
at
going to get into that with I don't know if it needs to be us, but for example, should I just start on the adopted garden
go
now,
ahead.
or are we?
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because we have a quorum now.
Yeah,
We can approve the minutes.
that's right. Should we approve the minutes? We can do it at the end. Go ahead.
I have been in touch we have 5 landscapers who currently have places in town that are active, and I contacted them saying, do you want to continue? Actually, I should back up. They want the town and the state, the town really wanted us to have permission or permitted people for all the gardens. So Ed Gentile finally did find me a fellow named Todd, who is on the DOT, who has been great to work with, who sent a adopt-a-ramp. This is what we need. We need to fill out a permit and get liability insurance. This is the permit. So I have, now we finally have a green light to contact everybody. So I contacted all of the existing ones, sent them the permit form. They need to sign it. It's actually, the permit goes under our name, but they are the insurance holders, and then we have to have a liability certificate from each landscaper. I've sent them all out. I heard back immediately from Foster's. I've heard back from the Growing Concern. The others I'm going to have to keep nudging to get them going. So I did that about 2 weeks ago, and then this past week I sent out letters to all, I had just cobbled together a list of people who I could think of, who I see around town, and I've heard back from Tribodi would like to do one. Actually, Foster's would like to do a new one, and we have a group who were actually contractors, Woodland Partners, who would like to, in fact, I'm meeting with her at 11, who were interested in doing the garden at the foot of, next to the fire station at the foot of Mansfield.
Great.
Oh,
So I don't know. She is not they are not landscapers,
Yeah.
so I'll find out whether she is really a good fit for that. Who they're planning to have do the gardening, for example. I mean, I don't think we need to worry so much about a plan or plant material because it's all there, but it really needs to be tended.
Yeah.
Yes.
And whether they have a landscaper who could do that, or whether they're just amateurs who.
Yeah.
Are enthusiastic to have a sign there. I'll know more. But
Thanks.
I'm feeling like we're finally moving forward.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And again, it's one of those seasonal things too, where they start to get busy, so we want to
Exactly.
Yes.
This is why I
Get the
kept-
permit
I
and
kept
all that
going
stuff.
That's
after-
important to be
Yeah.
insured and all that. That's a great thing.
Exactly. So they all have a permit, and either if it's on a state route like Post Road or Tokenique Road, which is 136, or Mansfield 124, then it's under the state jurisdiction. Otherwise, the other roads are the town permits. So,
Okay,
so for example, growing concern would be, which is on Corbin and
right.
Old Kings Highway South, those would be permitted by the town.
Right.
But
God, good job.
I mean, it really
That's
is.
a
It's
lot of
it's
work.
complicated. It is complicated, but at least we're here, and I'm hoping this is the 2011.
Yeah.
All these various spots. I'm hoping we can get them all filled again. Get the ramps.
Yeah.
Coming off of exit 11, for example, one of those, the garden that used to be complete design, has trash and a pillow in the middle. It really is pretty abysmal.
A sofa, a mattress. They're good.
So
Yeah.
anyway, hopefully we'll get this rolling.
That's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see. One thing, so back to the photo op, I was thinking, what I did say to these landscapers is that what we can offer to you is a sign and some publicity.
Right.
So perhaps one of, we could get whoever, we could designate a time, maybe Julia, when you can take a picture and get one of the landscapers at their site and have one or two of us, with them, thanking them or whatever, just
That's
so
a
that
great idea.
they get a picture in the paper and we're pictured, and we could also in the same blurb invite others to
Yeah.
participate.
Explain what we're doing.
Because the list I have of these 9 landscapers are just ones I came up with out of the blue.
Right.
There probably are others that should have been asked who I'm just not aware of.
And we can also say that the commission is looking for volunteers as well to help with the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can get that same gal who was looking to do an article and then she never did, to a follow-up
What was
article
that?
after we had her picture.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know.
She interviewed me and gathered all, but I think they decided that it was too soon after that other picture and there wasn't enough new
Right.
news to.
But this is something that's actually concrete, right? It's actually happening.
Exactly.
And if we
Moving
can-
forward, sure.
I'm happy to take a picture. If we can set it up, yeah. Then,
Let me figure out when one of the landscapers who I'd love to do either Chris McGoldrick or Foster's, because they have been the most responsive
Okay.
and keep their gardens the best.
Yes.
Okay.
So they really deserve a photo op. it seems
and would it
to
be
me.
worth reaching back out to that woman at the paper and just saying, look, this is where
Yes.
we're at? And,
Yeah. I'm wondering
okay.
if her name was her name on here. No, but we could certainly find out from the Times who did it.
Yeah.
And then when we do the baskets, they always take a picture too,
That's
which
right.
is nice. But
Yes.
I was thinking, like Julia, you were saying, we don't even necessarily need somebody right away. Like because in the summer there isn't that much news because the schools are all closed. Maybe kind of throughout the summer we can have, if we have other landscapers, for instance, and then it's really blooming by then, we can just kind of keep up the
Right.
publicity through the summer. So people
Like when
see it
town
on a
hall
regular
gets done.
basis.
Do a big publicity.
Yes.
For that.
That would
Right.
be a great one.
That'd be a real hands-on.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Pictures in the newspaper, what everybody looks at, and
Yeah.
they don't
People like pictures.
they don't necessarily read things unless there is a
Yeah.
picture to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It beats obituaries, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
have
it
pictures. Sometimes very old pictures. What do you mean he's 90? He looks 12.
Yeah, I could use. I don't know if anyone. One of the things that these applications with a permit also requires is a Google picture of the site. And what the state said and Ed said is that they don't care about having a plot plan of what the gardener landscapers are planning to plant, but they do want a Google Earth photo of the site.
On the location. They want to know
Right.
what it is, where it
Mhm.
is.
And for whatever reason, at my office, I can't seem, they won't let me do a Google search. It says something is wrong. I don't know if someone could Google, get a picture of all these various places, or the one I could, 5 are the key for these initial permits. Does anyone?
It has to be from the.
If you go into Google Maps, you can pull it up on your screen. I
Right.
can on my home computer, but I don't have a printer that would print.
And so do like a screenshot, or is it?
It is, if you get a Google Earth picture of the island, for example, whichever one of the gardens, that's what they want with the permit, the insurance, the picture, and the written
Wow.
permit.
Wow.
That's
So it's actually like a
bizarre.
confirmation of where it's located.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
So anybody have that facility to get all those Google pictures for us?
Yeah, I'm sure I have it on my computer. Right?
But do you have a printer that could print it up?
That's the thing. It's printing it. That's
Yeah. Well, maybe.
I mean, I can pull the Google picture up. I mean, it's easy to find these places, but
and the application process is not online, so you can't provide a link or anything or a screenshot. You actually have to attach it.
I think,
that seems bizarre.
probably we should be able to, but that's what he asked for. So,
Huh. Because I think if it were online, it'd be easy.
Mm-hmm.
But to actually print it out.
but he, here we are filling out these
Yeah.
forms for them. I don't know how else to do it.
So this must be a new thing that they're saying.
Yes. Well, in the past, this was never permitted. The gardens were just,
Right.
it was just like word of mouth, But indeed, I think it's much smarter to have the insurance certificate to know. Not only
Absolutely.
that,
Exact
I think the
spot.
permitting process makes good sense because if a landscaper isn't like Savitri has really left us in the lurch. I've reached out to them 2 or 3 times, and I'm just ready to say
Forget
goodbye. Even though they have a sign down there at the 5 Mile Island, they haven't been taking care of it. And so if we have a yearly permit, we can simply say,
it. Yeah.
Is there a
either
fee
get
for the
your
permit?
get your act together. No,
It's a commitment. It's a way of getting people to
Yeah,
commit.
and then people
Yeah.
will take it more seriously.
If you
maybe.
email me the addresses, I'll see if I can go onto Google Earth and pull the pictures.
print it out.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
All right. So just
Okay.
email me the addresses.
Yep.
and we'll do it.
Yep. Do you have a copy of this? Because these are, and I could just tell you which numbers they are.
You know how sometimes
And
it's
I-
satellite and sometimes it's just.
I think I have
Street,
one more,
yeah.
and I
Yeah,
also
street
have,
view.
I have
Because I was
scanned it,
thinking
so I
street
have it.
view,
I
but it
can
sounds like
email
they
it to
want
you.
You
it
email
from
this to me and then
above.
tell me
Okay.
which ones you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll
It's
be a
a street
thermal
view
way.
would be different.
Wonderful.
Yeah, then you just can.
You can
It's
do
just
an image.
one
Yeah.
more
I'm tech
detail.
savvy like that, so I'll get it.
It
So
is weird.
I think that, unless anyone has any other questions.
No, I think that sounds fantastic.
Yes,
Thank
thanks.
you.
It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
It is. But it feels like, once we get it all into place, it should hopefully run by itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it'll be beautiful too.
Yeah, well,
It'll be
Yes.
nice. They need work.
Yeah.
Especially that one with the fire
Needs
station.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all evergreen trees.
That's
Like,
true.
I know there's things in there, but you can't see them.
Right.
It used to be, because of your lovely pictures, what I did to, was I put these and scanned them all your pictures and sent them up to this state Todd, so he could see what he wanted to know. He wanted the Google Earth things, but I said, well, this is all I can offer you right now. These are the pictures. But it helps to even show the landscapers what it did look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tells a story. Yeah, because it kind of
Here's
gives
an
a message
idea
to
of
us.
what we're looking.
So your pictures were valuable.
Good.
Well, I think they're valuable for us too, particularly for me as a new person coming in. I mean, I drive by them all over town, but don't necessarily, tune in on them.
Yeah.
And now I'm more alert to
Yeah,
them.
you don't notice them, do you?
Yeah, no,
That's-
until you're involved in it. With
And
anything.
the other part of it is I did call Signs for Success, and they said that a new sign would be roughly $115, which wasn't too bad,
No.
but they are not including the post. They wanted us to figure out how to do the post, but I was thinking I would just pull up the Saba sign and take it to them and say, this is what we need to replicate.
That's a great idea. Or just take a picture of it and email it to them and just say.
And I did do that, but
And
I think they need to see the size and the quality of the material, etc. I think it's more than just the.
Yeah. And how many will we need? How many gardens are there?
There are about 20, but right now we have like 6 that we are in charge. I mean, I have not included the one that, say, the Board of Realtors who pay a gardener to do that,
Right.
or the Amy Smile one.
Right.
I've just included the ones that landscapers do.
Right.
So we'll start from there, and then paw prints is another. Trying to transition off a business supported one.
Are we going to keep that going, or are we just going to let it?
I had told her we would keep it going for one more year, because when I went in, she was pretty
I've been saying
unhappy
that.
that it hadn't been cared for, and she paid money to have it taken care of. So
Yeah.
I said, we'll do one more year, and then I think we should transition over to a landscaper taking care of, or have you hire a landscaper so that you pay the landscaper, not us.
Right. I mean, because to your point, it's a hard place to maintain.
It really is. I mean, last year I'll have to admit I didn't go over there, but the 2 years before that I would go with Sabina, who used to be on our commission, and we'd go together. So we only had one car, so she'd pull her truck up onto that little island, and then we would work on it. Once you're on there, it's okay, but then you have to get off. You have to go right onto the highway. And then turn around.
Park in one of the business, like
It's kind of scary, like running across the street, honestly.
It's a busy area.
Yeah, it's really
It's
busy.
on
on the
ramps.
highway and
Yeah. So, and we planted echinacea there. We clipped the hedges, but last year we didn't do anything because
Didn't Christina
I
say
didn't
like
wanna go
deer
by
get out there?
myself.
Where did they-
she did say
they
the
do.
deer ate.
the deer go there. Oh, it's easy for them. At night,
At nighttime.
at night they go right
And
over there.
on, yeah.
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 it would be nice if that was just, something that you don't really have to maintain much, like just a bunch of wildflowers that, would just
Or just
bloom.
got some evergreens, or
Or deer-resistant plants like Monarda, bee balm. Deers hate it. Anything with a square stem, they don't want to eat it. And they're
that's a
beautiful.
good point.
Indeed,
They're beautiful and they're low lying, so they don't
And they're
block
different
traffic.
colors.
Yeah.
Oh.
but most of these
That's a
are
great
things like
idea.
roses that, the problem is so much of it is,
Also, Pollinator friendly is what we want.
yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm part of the Pollinator Pathway program. So it's one of the things in town is going green, no pesticides, and having all native plants for the pollinators. So that's what we want to make sure they use there too.
Yeah.
Golly, do you have a list of plants that they're recommending?
I can get them to you.
That would,
Yeah.
because we can pass it
We
on
do- we
to
do
our
have a list.
landscapers.
We had a list at our meeting a month and a half ago, so I can get you that.
Excellent.
That'd be good. If you could, just send it to the whole group. That'd
Yep,
be
I will.
awesome.
Yep.
Thanks.
I'd
Yeah.
be interested in that for myself too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the butterfly garden, which we work on pretty much, just ourselves. I don't really want a landscaper to touch it. Last year I had the landscaper that we use now. He actually was my personal
Is
landscaper.
that
Now we're
elder?
using him.
No.
No, that's Wilmer de la
Okay.
Cruz. He did weed one time because it really got out of control, but I had to show him exactly what were weeds and what weren't. But the only problem with that butterfly garden, it wasn't as bad last year, but I think the people from the state, since the top of it backs right up onto the railroad, I think they come and they spray. So I did have some monarchs there last year, which was great,
Right.
but I feel like I would have a lot more. I didn't have any bees. And I was really surprised, but I think they spray the weeds along the top.
Right.
And then,
sure
of
you're
course,
right.
that just, the wind blows it and it goes
Right.
on some of the plants. So I don't know how to stop that.
Is that Metro North people or DOT people?
Probably Metro North.
Metro
people.
North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
they want to keep it clear of weeds.
Yeah, maybe if I just put up, you know, those little kind of, like, they're only this big, like just a wiry fence,
Yeah.
just along the top, then they wouldn't come close to what I have. I don't
But
know.
I think to your point, they're probably spraying around the tracks and it just gets blown into your.
Actually,
Into
the water,
garden.
the rainwater just makes it leach down to it.
Right.
It
Yeah.
leaches down 3, 4 feet, 10 feet. And it gets
Right.
into the soil, kills the insects, kills the pollinators, kills everything else.
Right.
So
That's what it
that's
is.
the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's slow.
Right. It's a slope, so
So
it
they're all
always
just take
pours
on
down.
weeding along the tracks.
No.
And I have butterfly bushes there too.
Right.
And you do have, there were butterflies there. It was,
Yeah, there were butterflies, but no bees.
yeah,
That's weird.
Which is surprising.
Yeah.
I don't know what. We'll just have to.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would be worth trying to find out who is in the maintenance at Metro North and have her not spray that section.
that's going to be tough.
You know what? Maybe
It varies all the time too.
Yeah.
like to go to. You know, it would be nice because Connecticut is trying to be more environmental.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have to be a big change at the top, where they would spray for weeds, but in a, I don't know,
Organic.
in an organic way.
Right.
I could ask. I have my meeting tomorrow night. I could ask who I should talk to.
That's
There
a
might
pretty
be
good
a
idea.
town
That's a
committee.
good idea.
Yeah, go to the
With-
top.
Who do you meet with tomorrow night?
Democratic Town Committee. But we often have people from Hartford who come in and kind of tell us what's going on. So, or I can email one of those people and ask them who I should talk to.
Because think about the length of the train going through town, the watersheds that it goes by,
Yes.
everywhere where the pesticides can leach into when it rains. Think about that. It's trickle down effect with the chemicals.
Right.
Ugh.
All right, I'll
That's
do
a
that.
great idea.
Sorry,
And-
that's
and
it's
it
me and my
goes-
pollinators.
And it also goes right into the sound ultimately.
Right. So it's
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
a big deal.
Okay. Meeting.
Is that where they could spray with vinegar? Like, you know, one of those vinegar solutions to
Yeah.
kill the weeds? Would
I have
that
no
affect-
idea. Like,
It
what-
burns it. It like burns the roots.
what the vinegar does? Or?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
So is
use
that
on
what's-
my terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it burns the roots in the sun.
Water and
Yep.
vinegar solution.
But it has to be a high test. You don't want it to kill the other plants.
Right.
Because again, it all rolls downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of those plants, they do look, the ones at the top, they look burned from the chemicals that
Yeah.
they use.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
Right.
Thanks. That'd be interesting. All right. Do we have anything else we need to go over? I think we've got it. What time is it? We're so efficient.
Yeah.
It's only 9:45.
We're good.
Are we good? So do you think we're good?
I think we're good.
Okay. We need to approve the minutes.
Yep. I move we approve the minutes of last meeting.
A second.
Second. All approve?
Bye.
Aye. Well done, Tracy.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Tracy.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Then I guess this meeting, we adjourn?
We're adjourned.
We're adjourned.
Thank you,
All right.
Julia.